It was time for Leatherface to go to the next level, or perhaps the next generation.
I want these people to know the meaning of horror. Horror.
Let's take a look back at the infamous fourth film in the franchise and go over 10 things you probably didn't know about the movie. Number 1. Actor Jim Siedow, who portrayed the cook in the first 2 films, was approached and asked if he would like to have a role in this film. He declined. Also, Bill Johnson, who played Leatherface in the second film, was asked if he would like to reprise his role, but he declined as well. Number 2. Even though both Siedow and Johnson declined to return, there's still a good bit of Chainsaw alumni in the film. In the hospital scene at the end, the cop who's talking with Jenny is actor John Dugan, who played Grandpa in the original film. The orderly is Paul Partain, who played Franklin in the original film. The woman being wheeled by on a gurney is Marilyn Burns, who played Sally Hardesty in the original film. Number 3. Director and writer Kim Hinkle, who co-wrote the original film with Tobe Hooper, says that he believes The Next Generation is the true sequel to the original film. Number 4. An hour-long making-of documentary was meant to be attached and released with this film as a special feature, but for some reason this never happened. Still, the documentary has been known to pop up from time to time on various video sites such as YouTube and Dailymotion. Brian Huberman, the director of the documentary, also sells copies of the documentary on his official website. Number 5. Die-hard wrestling fans may recognize one of the cops in the film as Deborah McMichael, who was an active star in both WCW and WWE during the late 90s and early 2000s. She was also the wife of wrestling superstar Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number 6. There's an extended version of the film that contains 7 more minutes of footage. Most notably, there's a scene that introduces Jenny's abusive stepfather in the beginning of the film.
Get out of my room.
What are you afraid of, huh? All I'm asking you is to be a nice girl. No big deal, huh?
Even if you weren't a slime ball, aren't you forgetting that you're married to my mother?
You shut your damn mouth. I think you want it.
Mother!
However, this version was only released in Canada and on Laserdisc in Japan. Number 7. On a 2015 episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, Matthew McConaughey and Kimmel do a skit at a small video rental store. In the skit, McConaughey forgets which Texas Chainsaw Massacre film he even starred in.
You know what? I'm going to give you something for your inconvenience last night. I'm going to give you the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3 with Renee Zellweger and you for half price.
Number 8. Speaking of McConaughey, it turns out that he was originally cast in the film as a Romeo-type character that would come in and save Renee Zellweger's character, Jenny, at the end of the movie.
I actually have been offered the part of a role of a guy who shows up on a motorcycle at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie rides off with Renee Zellweger, sort of a Romeo to Juliet role.
However, he decided that he wanted to read for the role of Vilmer instead. This all worked out considering the former role was cut from the film. Number 9. Both Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger was practically unknown at the time of shooting The Next Generation. However, they rose to superstardom shortly thereafter. Their respective agents tried their best to distance the two actors from this film, thinking that it would blemish their resume. Number 10. This movie served as Kim Hinkle's directorial debut, but was also his last, as he's more known for being a writer. However, he states that there's nothing worse than writing, mostly due to the forced solitude it takes to write a script. That's it for this video. After this entry in the franchise, it would be time for Leatherface to get a fresh start in a remake, which is what we're going to check out next. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and stick around for that video.
You really must accept my sincere apologies. It was supposed to be a spiritual experience. I can't tell you how disappointed